Ari about to slap the shit about that.
I said you ain't talk nothing. I ain't hear shit about no money. Eyes fucking on the low. Play it super cool and public. Got a bitch touching toes, but this dick all in her stomach. Blue beam, tracer rounds. We got smoke, that's if you want it. Go. I just hit a lick, running out with 1,500. Cooking half up off the rip. Other half, I'm just like fucking eyes broker than a bitch. Now I'm coolin', I ain't stunting. I put that shit in the crypto. They ain't peeping, I'm coming. Gon' hustle to the max. 100 ways to get this shit poppin'. Damn shorty, what she looking at? Got my dick throbbing. Should I go Givenchy or Balenci? Sound like rich problems. Businessman, all I do is work. I want big pockets. I'm the shit, you dig? Open, she gon' get right in. Pop out on them back to back. Something like a nympho's kid. Sliding like the disco did. Fuck him, he a bitch. He grits cook. Boy, you bet not slip. Mini, but it break through brick. You ain't talking nothing. I ain't hear shit about no money. Eyes fucking on the low. Play it super cool and public. Got a bitch touching toes, but this dick all in her stomach. Blue beam, tracer rounds. We got smoke, that's if you want it. Go.
Yo, man. What's going on? It's Running Man Ryan. You're here with Sports 7. You know, over here we go through the whole NBA slate, every single game, letting you know what I think and what side I think is the better side. Granted, just because I say I like a side doesn't mean I want you to go out there and bet on it. Also, remember you want to check injury reports, and also remember you want to get the best line possible at all times. But other than that, man, let's get straight to it. I sound a little different today. I am feeling a little sick, and I do have work, so I am going to speed this up a little bit, but we are going to go through the whole entire slate. Let's get it cracking. Let's get this fucking cheese. So we got us Denver going against the Knicks. Knicks at home. They are currently laying 6.5 points. The best line I'm seeing is on FanDuel at -110. I'm starting to see -112s, -115s, and stuff like that. I did like Denver in this spot. I always like Denver as an underdog, especially when getting medium points. Only thing that concerns me is they are on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel going from Detroit to New York. And New York has been a great team at home. They're also on a back-to-back. They just played the Wizards in Washington. So, you know, a little travel. Washington is a little closer to New York than Detroit is to New York. So, you know, in this spot, as far as injuries for the Knicks, we're looking at Josh Hart questionable, Miles McBride is questionable, Mitchell Robinson is probable. Then we have some, some role pieces. Kevin McCullough questionable, Mohamed Diawara questionable. Sorry if I butchered that. For the Nuggets, you got Tamar Bates out, Aaron Gordon out, Cameron Johnson is doubtful. So I don't think he's going to play in this game. So, just looking at who we got going against each other, I do think there's a world where the Knicks can beat the Nuggets by 7 points. I just don't think they should be favored by 7 points against the Nuggets. Both teams are on a back-to-back with travel, and the Nuggets have just been extremely profitable as an underdog, as an away underdog. So, I lean Nuggets in this spot, not in a rush to bet it at all. I really don't want to fade Knicks when they're at home. The Knicks just have been a great team. So, the line opened up at 4.5. It's now at 6.5. I feel like if you like the Knicks, the value is gone. My personal opinion. If you like the Knicks, I think the value is gone. Maybe you try to live bet it or something, see if you can get better odds. But at this spot right now, I'm thinking Nuggets. If we just take a second to look real quick, let's look at the last 20 games, right? For the Nuggets. Nuggets were getting 5 points with Detroit, covered. Mind you, they were getting blown out damn near halftime and still came back and only lost that game by 3 points. They were a +7 dog against OKC. They didn't cover in that game. They were a +2.5 dog against the Clippers, won outright. +7.5 dog against Detroit, no Jokic, lost that game by 2 points. +7.5 dog against Milwaukee, won that outright. +3 dog against the Lakers. They lost that, didn't cover. +2.5 dog against Hornets, didn't cover. Last time, then they were a +6 dog against Milwaukee, again covered and won outright. +9.5 dog against Boston, won that game outright. +14.5 dog against 76ers, won that game outright. A +14 dog against Cleveland, covered. +6.5 dog against Toronto, won that outright. But I was just looking at the last 20 games for Nuggets when they're getting points as a dog. As you can see, they've just been covering. It really doesn't matter the team. they win these type of games outright. You know what I mean? So I do lean Nuggets in this spot. Let's go to the next game. Let's go. Next game, Minnesota going against Toronto Raptors. On the road, facing the Raptors. I was looking into this game yesterday. I was seeing minus 150 on Kalshi. And this was before the line came out. And I just felt like Timberwolves shouldn't have been a minus 150 favorite in this spot on the road. Just too many questionable tags going on. We got Anthony Edwards questionable, Julius Randle questionable. And those are like the most important pieces for the Timberwolves. As far as Toronto, you have somebody named Chucky Hepburn. He's out. And you got Jakob Portal. He's also out. But that's it. So Toronto's looking pretty healthy in this spot. I wouldn't be quick to fade them at the crib. As far as head-to-head matchups, these teams haven't played all season. Last time these teams played was last year. And Toronto won their game at home against the Timberwolves, 110-105. They were a +7 dog in that spot. As you can see, Toronto is a way better team this year. So it makes sense that they're +2.5 instead of +7. I mean, they got RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and Quickly. And when those four normally play together, I feel like they've been an actually good team, but let's just double check. You know, one thing you guys are going to learn about me is I'm quick to back the underdog if I feel like there's not enough reasoning to back the favorite. You know what I mean? It's just like my go-to. So, yeah, for the 2025 season, when all four of those players play, Emmanuel Quickly, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, they've covered a +2.5 against the spread in 70% of the games that all four of them played. It just whatever the number was in general, they covered 52% of the times, probably a little less. I think it's like 50 because they're not counting this next game that they didn't cover. So they've covered the spread 50% of the times. At +2.5, they've covered 70% of the times. Like I said, I would need to know what's going on with Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle before I actually made a final pick. But as of right now, I am leaning Toronto Raptors. In a true pick 'em with Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, I do lean Minnesota. But at 2.5, maybe 3 points, I got to take Toronto in this spot. Let's go to the next game. Boston Celtics going against the Houston Rockets. Celtics just played in yesterday. They played against Dallas, won that game 110-100. I told you guys yesterday Boston was the right spot. Take the I forget if they were laying 6.5 or 8.5, but regardless of what it was, they covered. And this is a spot where Boston has been actually super profitable as an away underdog. They have Jaylen Brown. They have their main pieces, you know what I mean? As far as Houston, Kevin Durant is probable. Steven Adams out for the season. Dorian Finney-Smith still out. Fred VanVleet out for the season. So, you know, I was leaning Boston yesterday. But then once I seen that KD was probable, I kind of did pump the brakes on this because Houston's at home, and Houston's not really a team I want to fade at home. As far as right now, if I had to make a pick, I would be on Boston just because of how profitable they've actually been as an underdog. I do think this is a game they could win. Like I say all the time, I love Houston's defense, but it's the offense that scares me. They just played against the Pacers, and I was telling you guys, I just didn't feel like without KD, I just felt like they didn't have the offensive presence to go out there and keep up with the Pacers. Or I mean, you know, to blow the Pacers out by multiple possessions. And I feel the same way about this spot. I don't think even with KD, I don't think their offense is so much better than Boston that they're supposed to go out there and beat Boston by 6 points. I just don't see it. You feel me? Then what we got to take into consideration is these two teams already played early in the season when Boston was still struggling, and Houston won that game 128-101. They were a 5.5 favorite in that game. So I just feel like in this spot, in the revenge game, I understand Houston's at home, but I don't know if I would be in a rush to go take Houston to cover this 5.5. I think this game is way more competitive than the last game. and I would not be surprised if Boston comes out and wins outright. One thing you want to keep in mind, though, like I said, just keep an eye on the injury report. Kevin Durant is probable, but you want to make sure he's playing before you make any. Like I said, Boston, leaning Boston. Boston, probably even sprinkle a little bit on the money line. New Orleans Pelicans going against Milwaukee Bucks. I do like the Pelicans in this spot. One thing about the Pelicans is I want to tell you guys they are undefeated against the spread as a favorite. So on the road as a favorite, laying 4.5 points. I don't think the Pelicans have been a 4.5 point favorite all season. All season, I don't think they've been a 4.5 point favorite. So this is kind of one of those spots where I feel like the books are telling you everything you need to know. Pelicans should be heavily favored. Pelicans should be looked at as the team that's going to go out here and get the win tonight. Milwaukee played last night against Chicago, and they won that game 131-115, like I thought they would. And Bobby Portis is questionable. Giannis still out. And I just think, and Kevin Porter is also questionable. Bobby Porter is questionable. Kevin Porter questionable. Gary Harris is questionable. So keep your eye on the injury report. But as of right now, it's looking like this Pelican team is pretty healthy. Hunter Dickinson is questionable. DeJounte Murray out. DeJounte's been out all season, so that's nothing new. Yeah, man, this Pelican team is actually pretty healthy. They have the rest advantage, and they're a favorite. So, and I think they're the better team without Giannis. So everything is kind of in position for me to want to take the Pelicans. Probably the only thing that's keep me off it, like I said, is Pelicans haven't been a 4.5 point favorite all season. So I really don't want to lay 4.5 points with the Pelicans in general. But one thing I would have to say is that I just feel like there's a reason. There's a reason why they're laying this big number, and I'm backing them. I'm backing the Pelicans in the spot as a 4.5 point favorite on the OKC going against the Spurs. Man, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This would be the first game of the slate today that I can really say I don't know. I don't know, man. These two teams, it's like you would think OKC is the better team until they go up against the Spurs team and you realize they have a lot of things to work on. One thing I will give OKC credit on is they've been injured. I don't think they've played the Spurs with a healthy team at all. So as you can see in this spot, Jalen Williams will also be out. Nikola Topic out. Thomas Sorber out for the season. AJ Mitchell questionable. So for the Spurs, Stephon Castle is questionable. Jeremy Sohan out. Lindy Waters out. I feel like in this spot, OKC on the road, I think they have a point to prove, bro, against the Spurs team. I really do. I really do. I really do. Like I said, they lost to this Spurs team 3 straight games in a row. They did go out there and just beat them recently, January 13th, 98-119. But I still feel like OKC has a lot to prove when it comes to this Spurs team, man. They just went out there and dominated y'all in 3 games straight. So I think this is gonna be one of those situations. Every single time OKC plays the Spurs, I think you're going to see them put their best effort up. Wemby, such a great player. But I do like the fact that OKC has both Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein for this matchup. I do like that a lot. So, I think I would have to lean OKC in this spot. You dig what I'm saying? I just feel like they have more to prove in this game than the Spurs. And just to double check. Because it's games like this that definitely make me want to check and see. I'm sorry, y'all, man. I really think I am coming up with something. Oh, man. Shit. Yeah, the Spurs play tomorrow. They play against the Mavericks, so they will be on the first leg of a back-to-back. Let me check OKC. Yeah, man, something I started implementing is checking the schedules for the following games. I need to know, like, are they gonna be on a back to back? So no, actually, the Thunder play today, and then they don't play again until February 7th. So with Spurs being on a back to back, I really do like that for the Thunder. And I might actually bet the Thunder. Like I said, I think they're the better team. I think they have more to prove in this spot. And they also are in a better travel position in my opinion. You feel me? Neither team. Hold on. Well, no, I can't even really. OKC second leg. Spurs are on the first leg. So I can't even really say that. Yeah, man, it's one of those games where I'm not probably not gonna bet on it. You know, I lied. I'm probably not gonna bet on it at all. But I do think OKC is the right side. Let's go to the next game. Don't want to waste too much time on that. Um, Sacramento at home going against Memphis Grizzlies. Sacramento is laying basically a pick 'em -1.5. Favorited Sacramento, leaning towards Sacramento. Line opened up at 2. It's now at 1.5. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just took the Kings, y'all, against the Wizards. The Wizards were coming off that just super competitive run, and I thought that's why the number was so short going against Kings. So I took the Kings in that spot -1, and Kings cannot get Wizards. So when you can't get it done against the Wizards, that does kind of scare me because that's not really a team looking to win games. And I just thought they had the better team. So, I do think the Kings have a better team than the Memphis Grizzlies. Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Precious Achiuwa, and Demonte Sabonis is questionable, dealing with back soreness. Keegan Murray out. They got everybody else though. Keep in mind, Dennis Schroeder definitely just got traded, and and I think they just got DeAndre Hunter, who I think will be playing in this game. Yeah, as far as what I'm seeing, DeAndre Hunter is available, healthy. He's not on no injury reports. I'm thinking he goes out there and he plays. With that being said, man, I think this is a spot where the Kings are a horrible team. They are a horrible team. Horrible team. Especially this season. But the Grizzlies are so ass and missing so many players right now. There's no way you could go out there and want to take them. What I mean? Like, I would need them on real deal plus money, bro. I can't take Grizzlies and I pick them with no team. To be honest, I'm not interested in taking the Grizzlies and I pick them against no team unless they're in a revenge spot. And what makes it even worse is that the Kings are in a revenge spot against the Grizzlies. They played them twice this season. They played them November 20th. Sacramento lost that game 96 to 137. They played them again in Sacramento and lost that game 107 to 115. Both games, the Kings were +3 on the spread, and now they are a favorite at -1.5. And I feel like that's the right side, man. The Kings have been so ass lately that I feel like if they are favored, you kind of gotta take them because you kind of just gotta take them. They're one of those teams, Utah, Pelicans, Kings. Like when these teams are favored, those are teams that you gotta kind of look at and just say like, all right, you know, they're due. You know what I mean? Every team is gonna win NBA games, and I don't care how ass the team is. You feel me? Every NBA team is gonna go out there and get wins, and this is a team that the Kings could definitely beat. They don't beat this team though, man. Whew, they have some problems on their hands. I mean, they have serious issues that they need to figure out. But if they can't beat the Grizzlies today, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I really don't. Uh, yeah. Next game, final game. I think this is the late. to bust this joint out real quick, y'all. Cleveland going against the Clippers. Clippers at home. One thing to take into consideration is Darius Garland and James Harden did just get traded for each other. So I don't think neither one of them will be playing in this game. And I think this is just gonna be one of those like weird games kinda, because y'all both just had main pieces get traded for each other. So I'm kinda interested to see how that's gonna work. As far as in this spot, it's so tough because Cleveland's going on the road into LA. Oh man, and is a favorite against a team that's won 17 of their last 21 games or something like that. I don't know. Up, y'all. I don't know how you take Cleveland as a favorite going into LA, going against this Clippers team that's been super hot as of late. You know what I mean? I just don't know how you do it. So I'm leaning just off that, I'm leaning Cleveland. I'm leaning Clippers. You know what I mean? I do feel like this game could go either way, but as of what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing 72% of the bets on Cleveland, 83% of money, 71% of bets on the spread on Cleveland, 84% of money. So a little bit of sharp action on Cleveland, but the public is also on Cleveland. And I think in this spot, I probably would lean Clippers. I do think at home they're going to feel some type of way about James Harden wanting to leave them and how good they've been. So it would be funny to see the Clippers go out there, bust Cleveland, and be like, yeah, this is who you left us for. Like, all right, look, feel me? So, but on some real shit, just without all that, Evan Mobley's not playing in this game as well. Evan Mobley is a big piece. He's a very important piece for Cleveland. So, no Darius Garland, no Evan Mobley going on the road, playing against a Clippers team that's won 17 in their last 21 games or something like that. Give me the Clippers until they fold. You know what I mean? Cavs already are one of the worst against the spread teams this season, if not the worst. So let me just go ahead and not back them in any situations, especially when I think there's value on the other side. Or this Clippers team as an underdog at home. Clippers also have the revenge spot. Lost to this Cleveland team 105-120 in Cleveland. This was November 23rd. So, like I said, at home in the revenge spot. I think it's a good spot for him. You know what I mean? As far as these teams, no Evan Mobley, no James Harden, no Darius Garland. I do think these teams are kind of even. And I think you could even argue and say the Clippers are the better team. Zubac or Jared Allen, I'm taking Zubac. John Collins or Dean Wade, I'm taking John Collins. Jalen Tyson, Kawhi Leonard, I'm taking Kawhi. Sam Merrill or Kobe Sanders, Sam Merrill maybe. Donovan Mitchell or Chris Dunn, you take Donovan Mitchell. But like I said, bro, they traded up DeAndre Hunter. And I like Dennis Schroeder. Don't get me wrong. I do like Dennis Schroeder. But just train up DeAndre Hunter. You don't have Evan Mobley. You don't have Darius Garland. This team is the chemistry is a little off. You feel me? Sam Merrill's missed a lot of games. Dean Wade has missed a lot of games. You guys are going on the road, going to the West. I just think it's a good spot for the Clippers, man. Another thing I kind of like about the Clippers too is that they were already at home, just played against Philly and lost in that game, 128-113. So. They didn't have to travel. Didn't have to travel in this spot. Have the revenge game. Playing against the team that, one of their top players went to go traded for. Yeah, I think it's a spot for them. But other than that, man, it's just running me around. I just went through the whole slate for you guys. You feel me? Like I said, just because I said I like the side doesn't mean I'm telling you to go bet on it. I'm just telling you what I think and how I think the Make sure you do your own research. Make sure you check in on the injury report. Make sure you check for the best lines. You know what I mean? Make sure you're making smart decisions and gamble responsibly. That's what this shit's about. You can't even win in this shit if you're not being disciplined. So that's the first thing. Make sure you're being disciplined. Make sure you're doing your own due diligence and looking in this shit yourself. But other than that, man, I'll be back again at it tomorrow to go through the slate one more time. We got to go through all these slates, man. We got to make as much money as we can before All-Star break because we won't have nothing to bet on. You feel me? But like I said, it's Running Me Around. This is Sports 7. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, comment, all that shit. I appreciate everybody who watches us. And we're out. Peace.